It's week 3 of the NFL season. We're here to tell you who to start and sit in your fantasy leagues. Dave Richard, Jamie Eisenberg, and Ryan Bass here with you. At quarterback, your start of the week, Carson Palmer.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Palmer just continue to do what he's been doing, which is 20 or more fantasy points. Going back to last year, he's been able to finish 7 games. In those 7 games, 20 or more points. Look at his first performances to start the season. He's just playing at a very high level right now, and as long as he's healthy, which I think he's going to play 16 games, you're going to get great performances throughout the course of the season. As we saw what the Steelers did to this 49ers defense, I think Palmer will follow suit.
He has been fantastic his last 18 games, again, when he is healthy for the Arizona Cardinals. You're sitting somebody at quarterback, and Sam Bradford's that guy.
Yeah, let's give him a week off, especially since he's going to take on the Jets on the road in week 3, and you saw what the Jets did to Andrew Luck. No one's sitting Andrew Luck after that bad performance, but Sam Bradford had a pretty crappy performance against Dallas. There's no way I want to trust him against the Jets and Darrelle Revis.
But if you are going to start somebody at running back, why would Isaiah Crowell be somebody?
Well, he's going up against the Oakland Raiders. He's at home. The Raiders are allowing 4.7 yards per carry to opposing running backs, and they've allowed 3 rushing touchdowns to running backs in 2 games. So I think the door is wide open for Isaiah Crowell to blow these projections away, potentially double those rushing yards, double the touchdowns, 80 and a touch. It would not be a surprise to see Crowell do that against this bad Raiders team.
Not worried about Duke Johnson taking some carries away?
He'll take some away, but not enough to really throw you off your game.
Doug Martin was somebody that through the first 2 weeks of the season we were pretty high on. He has not lived up to expectations, and you're sitting him this week.
Yeah, he's got 5 fantasy points combined through 7 fantasy points, 12 fantasy points combined through the first 2 weeks. Last week was a little disappointing. You know, he had 98 total yards, but he lost the fumble, so that drops him down to 7. He's not doing much as a receiver, 3 catches on the season. So I just think that he is what he is. You know, he's a flex option for you. He's a guy that, you know, if you're desperate, can be a number 2 running back, but just not somebody that I'm very excited about. And the Texans, I know they gave up a big number to Jamal Charles in week 1, but he did the majority of his damage as a receiver. They've actually been pretty good in their run defense, so I don't know if you're going to get great performance out of Doug Martin.
Yeah, good luck running on Vince Wilfork and J.J. Watt, and that's what Doug Martin is faced with doing this week. Well, if you have Carson Palmer as your start of the week at quarterback, he's got to throw the football to somebody, and you think that somebody could be Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it's Fitzgerald and John Brown. I think you see both these guys just continue to stay hot. Week 1, Brown scored a touchdown. Last week, Larry Fitzgerald scores 3. So I think you could see both guys find the end zone this week. I love both the opportunity for the way that they've been playing, and I think Larry Fitzgerald just keeps it going this week against the 49ers.
Terrance Williams was somebody stepping up for Dez Bryant. Last week did have a touchdown, but this week, Brandon Weeden is the quarterback. Even though those 2 connected for a touchdown last week, somebody you're not starting.
No, I don't really want to take the chance on him. If I need a 3rd receiver, if I'm desperate for a flex, I'll go ahead and use Terrance Williams. And I think the targets will be there for him. I'm just not expecting a big game. I think Atlanta's really going to rattle Brandon Weeden. Weeden's not known for helping his receivers get great numbers, and you'll see why in week 3.
I need a starter at tight end. Somebody I picked off the waiver wire last week was Kyle Rudolph. He scored a touchdown for me. Is it someone I should start again this week?
Roll with him until further notice because he is Minnesota's most reliable pass catcher. He's got the most targets of anybody on the team. And for this week, he's taking on a Chargers defense that's allowed a touchdown to a tight end in consecutive games. Rudolph's going to make it 3 in a row.
Back-to-back weeks that Eric Ebron has also caught a touchdown at that tight end position. But this week, you're sitting him. Why?
Tough matchup against the Broncos. You saw what they were able to do against Travis Kelce, everybody's favorite tight end for this week. Crockett Gilmore, they shut him out in week 1. So this defense, the secondary is very good. Ebron, I think, is a borderline starter at best, but if you can get away from this week, Kyle Rudolph would definitely be a better starting option.
That's your start and sit for week 3. Dave Richard, Jamie Eisenberg, and I'm Ryan Bass on CBS Local Sports. Thanks for watching.